Hey guys, sorry, it's a little dark in here. I guess you don't really need to see me, you just need to hear what I'm saying. So I want it to be quick, it's not going to be quick. I wanted to tell you guys kind of about my experience that I had during / after my Reiki 2 attunement. Kevin and I got attuned for Reiki 2 on Sunday, and it was one of the most magical, eye-opening experiences I've ever had, and I'm so glad that it happened when it did, because less than a week ago I made my shadows video, and this is really helping me take steps in the right direction to get out of that. So basically I'll get right into what happened during our attunement, and for those of you that don't know anything about Reiki, you are attuned so that you can act as a conduit for the universal energy to flow through you, out of your hands and into, say, another person, an object, yourself, whatever. And you have different levels of attunements to open up different, I guess, levels of channels is, I guess, how you would put it. I don't want to say different channels, but just opening up and unlocking more. So Reiki One is kind of about the physical level and healing on the physical level, you know, body ailments, that type of thing. Reiki 2 is more about healing on an emotional, a mental state. So that brings in symbols, which were awesome. And then when you continue to the masters, that connects you more with the divine, more with spirituality, and teaches you how to teach it. So during your attunements, in which the Reiki master passes along and opens up those channels, she passes the symbols onto, it was amazing. Other than actually feeling the energy, when she was doing mine, I remember feeling this pressure. It was like a pressure / tingling sensation right where my third eye is, you know, my brow chakra, my third eye chakra. And I just kept thinking, I'm like, wow, like that's really, it's tingling, it was a pressure. It was literally a pressure. And one of the things that they said can happen is, especially if you're extremely blocked, during Reiki 2, because it's so much about that mental, that emotional level, a lot of times it can open up people's third eye chakra and their intuition and psychic abilities and that type of thing. So even after my attunement, I was sitting there, and she kind of asked people what they were thinking, what they were feeling, and I had jotted a bunch down, and I told them, like, I still feel that, and well, she had thought it was probably the same thing. It was probably an opening of that chakra, and when that much energy comes into a chakra like that, when it's been closed off or not opened or not used to feeling that kind of energy, it can have that kind of effect. And so I just thought it was super weird. And so we continued on, and we did this guided meditation. Now, bear with me if you haven't read about or been attuned to Reiki 2. I'm not going to get into detail because I could literally go on and on and on. But there is a portion of Reiki 2, other than symbols, in which you can do distance healing. So not only can you send Reiki energy to somebody anywhere in the world, and it gets to them in an instant with certain procedures, you can also send energy to the past and to the future. So, like, for example, let's say Kevin and I had a huge argument a couple days ago, and it's just been festering, and that negative energy has just been hanging there. I can do a Reiki treatment and send healing energy to that past event, which will affect how the energy is sitting in the future, if that makes sense. Same thing with future events. If you want to send healing energies to a doctor's appointment, Maybe, you have a little bit stressful work day. Actually the last 2 days I've just been sending Reiki energy to my day in general, just because I am so stressed at work. And my last 2 days, as you've noticed on Facebook, if you follow me, have been great. I mean, I've just been in such a good mood. I've been so happy. I've been so positive, and it's just been great. So anyway, I keep getting off track. I'm trying not to make this a long video, because I could just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk to you guys. Okay, so I was a little hesitant at first. I got the symbols. I felt the symbols. I felt them work. I got it. I had a little bit of issue with the whole distance thing, because it was very hard for me to concept or to understand the concept that Reiki can transcend time and space, and that you could not only send Reiki to anybody in the world, but also go to the past and future. I mean, it just it's a big leap for somebody's mind to take. And so she had us do a generational healing, is what it was called. It was a meditation, a guided meditation. And I used a bear, in which I focused my energy to, and that bear, which is called a surrogate, which is, if you look on Facebook, I posted a picture of my new little adopted surrogate. His name's Henry. But there she had bears that had been used. And so I focused my Reiki energy into the bear, to correspond with what I was sending my healing to. It kind of helped a little bit. So anyway, she had us go into the state, do the whole procedure. And then she said, okay, now look to your past. Look to the past generations, your parents, your grandparents, and back from there, and send them healing Reiki energy. Okay, so it was cool. I kind of went through the people I knew, my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and after that, they just kind of became like faces. But I sent it, and I sent, and I sent, and I sent. And then she had us go and say, okay, now send Reiki energy to future generations. And this is where it struck me so hard. This is where I found out, and it really, not that I didn't know that Reiki worked, but I did, because I did, but that's how I knew that Reiki does transcend time and space. And it's kind of where my little tingly third eye came in. So I'll just tell you. So I was, I shifted my focus to future generations. And I just kind of let my mind wander. I've always been, I don't know about you guys, I've always been, maybe it's because I don't practice a lot. I'm going to now. But I haven't been very good when it comes to meditations, to just letting thoughts come to me. I feel like I always make the thoughts, even if something just pops in my head. I feel like I made it do that, so I don't know what's significant and what's not. And so I was looking to future generations, which obviously don't exist yet, because it's stopped with Kevin and I saw myself pregnant. And I saw, now Kevin and I have always talked about having 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Obviously I can't choose that, but that's always what we've talked about, 2 kids. And I saw my 3 children. There's 3 of them. I saw their faces. I saw what they looked like. I saw their hair color, and I burst into tears. Like, I just started crying. It was so emotional and so heartfelt. And then from them, I just saw this sea of, just what 2 people having kids stems into as far as future generations go. And after that, I came out of it, and I was drying my face, and I kind of explained my experience, and I burst into tears again. And after that, like, I think about it, and I'm like, well, of course. Like, I can't see myself having anything but those 2 girls and a boy, because that's what I saw. And I know that my mind I didn't put it there. I was letting it go. I was letting it go, letting it flow, and that's what it showed me. And it was remarkable. It was the most, it was the most amazing experience that I have had ever. I mean, it was just amazing to see what the magic of Reiki can do. And it was crazy. So after that, I've had little experiences the last couple days. Like, I've been trying to listen to my intuition a little bit more. Like, I worked down in the OR, and one of the things I was doing is I was raising up one of the beds to a certain level so they could move the patient over to it. So I was pulling the bed down the hallway to go plug it in, and I thought popped to my head and said, you don't want to do that because the patient's going to come around the corner on a stretcher and you're going to be in their way. And I was just like, psh, like, whatever. So I kept pulling the bed, and I went to go plug it in, and as soon as I plugged it in, a stretcher came down the hallway with a patient on it, and I was in their way. Like, it was just like why didn't I just listen to myself? And then that kind of popped up. It's like, it was kind of another one of those intuition, I don't want to say clairvoyance, but you know what I mean, like that thing that you knew, and you didn't listen to it, but you did know. Another thing was like, I follow Reiki Rays, it's Reiki and then Rays on Facebook, because they post awesome articles, and some of you have actually posted some of the articles onto my page, and I absolutely love them. So something that's really funny that's been happening is I have been as I go out throughout the day, and I have all of these things pop into my head about what I want to look up and what I want to read about, as I go onto my Facebook and I check my Facebook throughout the day, I notice I have notifications of new articles that are up, and those articles correspond to what I was just talking about. Like, I was thinking about, oh, well, I really need to look up, correspond or mixing Reiki with house cleansing and smudging. And then an article popped up that said Reiki and smudging. And then there was another one that it was like literally all day. Like, there was one about Reiki and psychic connections that I was wondering about. There was one about Reiki and Reiki altars that I was talking, like, literally all day. I would think of a subject, and later on when I would check Facebook, they literally posted an article about it already. It was the coolest thing. And then also, I'll do one more thing, and then I'll stop. When I was on my way to class today, I have in my favorites online, I have a Reiki music that I play every time I do a session for myself, for other people, whatever. It gets me in that mode. And so I'm like, I'm going to play it on my way to class and just get calm, that type of thing. And so as I was, I had it on, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to practice the one of the symbols, and maybe I've been trying to practice the whole distance healing, and so I'm like, I'm gonna do the symbol, and I'm going to practice sending some energy to somebody. I didn't really have anybody in mind, and so I did the symbol, and when you get finished, you press it in 3 times. So I did the symbol, and if you can imagine, like if this was my phone, I have my phone sitting here, and it was, I have a little clip that I clip it on that's like attached to your vent, so that I don't have it, because if I put it between my legs, I can't feel it when it goes off. So I have it clipped up there, and I had the music playing out of it because it was on YouTube. So I had the music playing, and put that down. And so if this is here, I was doing the symbol, and then I pressed 3 times. In my mind, it was just in the air, just randomly. But in physical reality, I was pressing it over my phone. On the 3rd press, my phone stopped playing music, and a phone call came through, and it was my mom. And it was kind of crazy, because the last couple days I've been thinking about how her and I haven't really been able to talk a whole lot lately. We've been a little disconnected from each other, and not really having anybody specific in mind as to who I wanted to send that energy to. And then for me to get done with that 3rd press and that phone go off, it was literally like a, hey, it was like a sign, like, you need to reconnect with your mom, you need to send some Reiki energy to your mom, you need to, like, it was just so, it was crazy, it was so cool. And so, if you guys haven't seen, I have my little Henry that is out he's on Facebook, he's out sitting with Kevin right now. but he is my little surrogate. So whenever I do distance healing now, I'll have my little bear. I'm also making, and this will have to be a different video because it's already 15 minutes long, but I'm also making Reiki boxes that I'll have to explain to you guys about, but I'm making one specifically for you guys. And so once I get it done, you know, I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it. But basically what I'm going to do is every month, every new moon, I'm going to ask you guys what you need Reiki sent to, what you need healing sent to, and I'm going to write it all down and put it in the box. And then all of those little notes are going to get Reiki healing for a month. And then at the next new moon, I'll discard those and I'll start a whole new one. Just because I'm going to have one for myself, one for my own personal stuff, my own family. But I really think that you guys are fantastic. There's so much that's going on in my life that I wouldn't even been here without you. And so, you know, I have so many things that I want to do for you guys. You know, I want to do giveaways. I have my shop open for you guys. Like, there's so much that I want to do that I feel like this is just one little tiny way that I can give back, is by sending you whatever healing energies that I can. And so I am just like, I'm so happy and I'm so excited. And I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And so don't worry, you'll be hearing from me again very soon. I'm going to get this posted because it's already freaking 17 minutes long. I apologize if you're still here. You're awesome. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.